Welcome back to the exciting video. And what we're talking about today is the top10s.com, top 10 most overrated guitar player, even though they rank 87. Normally when I go to lunch during the day, because I have a regular job that, I'm working diligently to where things like this become my regular job. Because I got to tell you, man, that grinding that shit out every day is getting old. And I'm trying to get busy. So regardless of all that, I was, usually I go through and I read the news and all this stuff because I've started a new podcast called, I can't think of the old name of my own podcast, Closed Minded. And if you're not into politics, then I suggest you do not check it out. If you are into politics, you might want to check it out. It is brand new, however, and there's one video up on it. So I'm just getting that started. I had a little bit of legwork to do on that. But anyway, so I'm flipping around. I decided to take a day off from the news. And, I always normally will go on to the internet and I'll try to find things that are, music related, something that I might be able to use for fodder for this channel. And I just happened to come across this thing called the top 10s. Now, I did not know there was going to be music on there. When I first saw it, I thought, this is going to be pretty cool. Top 10 best cars, top 10 worst cars, hell, the top 10 toothpaste. Might be something I need to know about. Maybe I need a better toothpaste. So lo and behold, and much to my shock, I found one on the top 10 most overrated guitar players, at which they actually ranked 87 guitar players. Now, from what I can tell, anybody can go on here and vote. And yes, it is ridiculous as the Rolling Stones top 500 albums, which is just an absolute joke. And this is equally as much of a joke. So when I started reading this, I sat there the entire lunchtime with my jaw sitting on the table because either the people who voted for this are idiots, absolutely not musicians, let alone guitar players, and you're getting ready to find out why. Now, you may agree with some of this list, you may not, but you have to keep in mind, just because you do not like a guitar player, that does not make them overrated. You got to judge them by their talent, their technical proficiency. What have they done? Kind of like the Rolling Stone 500. I don't, and a lot of people said, well, and I did that video from a very rock and roll point of view, because in my opinion, it was done from a very social justice point of view, and a lot of poppy people on there and a lot of rap stars on there. And to me, it was very slanted towards that. So I did mine from a very rock and roll point of view. And some of you called me out on it. So very good to you guys. And yeah, I was being I was taking the devil's advocate side on that one hard because it just kind of pissed me off the way they did that. And I disagreed with almost every single thing on that list. I just thought it was a bonehead. And this one guy actually come back to me and said that Ozzy Osbourne should, that he was way down the list and that's where he should be because Ozzy's never been mainstream. And I fired back at that guy, really? So I remember because he's talking about he's up in New York. I said, well, I remember, when Ozzy played in New York. Oh, he said no. He said Ozzy and Rush were never mainstream. That's what it was. Because it was Rush. I said, really? Because I remember when Rush played at Madison Square Garden, the concert sold out in one day. One day. Besides Britney Spears, just because she's, she's turned iconic. Love her or hate her, she's iconic, and that bitch can sell out a show. Boy, I'm going to take a lot of flack for that one, aren't I? So let's cut that out. She's iconic, and that chick can sell out a show. But you can't sit there and say, well, Rush doesn't deserve to be up there because they weren't mainstream. When this band literally sold out every single show they've played in the last 20 years. So people like that just piss me off. You're obviously not a musician. You obviously should keep your lips shut. Quit flapping your soup coolers because you don't know what you're talking about. Much of what's going on this list right here. Get ready for this. Get yourself a beer. Get yourself a glass of bourbon. Grab a pizza or some damn wings and get ready for this disgustingness. So coming in at number 1 is the most overrated guitar player ever, according to the top 10s list, where we rank 87 guitar players. Mr. Saul Hudson himself coming in at number 1. In other words, known as Slash. To say that he's the most overrated guitar player in the world makes most people stupid. This guy is phenomenal. Now, yes, he did make my 5 amazing guitar players with amazingly bad tones. Slash was on there. Because as good a guitar player Slash is, somehow this guy just simply does not hear tone. His tone's just not that good. Let's be honest. And when he gets on that wah pedal, it just turns into like cats screeching at each other. Regardless of that, if you have never played Slash's music, then you do not have the right to rate Slash. I play a lot of his music. I love playing his guitar solos. Dude, they are tricky because they're so unorthodox. It's like playing Alex Lifeson without the progressive part of it. Because if you've ever played Rush, Alex Lifeson's solos, they're just unorthodox as hell. I mean, it's chaotic. And Slash's solos are almost on the verge of chaotic. But you just really don't hear it because it fits so well. You can hear Alex Lifeson. It's just, but the chaos is what makes Alex Lifeson just an amazing, amazing guitar player, is the chaos. Slash is a brilliant, brilliant guitar player. His technical proficiency is amazing. How they've got this guy at number one, I absolutely don't know. I disagree. I'm not going to go through all these, but I am going to hit some of the highlights. And I'm going to give you a quick, I agree, disagree, or I have no, some people just don't belong in this list because they're just simply not guitar players. Slash, kidding me, overrated, give me a break. Coming in at number 2, Kurt Cobain, absolutely overrated. You have two kinds of people in this world. You have guitarist, and a guitarist is a guitar player. Guitarist, guitar player. Guitar player, guitarist. But then you have people who play guitar. Two totally different things. Years ago, I was a pianist. I was a piano player. Now I play piano because my piano skills have suffered terribly since I've been playing guitar in rock bands for the last 20 years. But Kurt Cobain, incredibly overrated guitar. I mean, no. And don't even get me started on technical proficiency because this dude's insanely overrated. And let's see here. This is one of the comments from this. Sadly, they don't have the names on here, so I can't call these people out for either their brilliance or stupidity, either one. The first day I decided to pick up and learn guitar, I was with my friend, and he brought over the music sheet to Do You Feel Like We Do? Actually, it's Do You Feel Like I Do, isn't it? From Peter Frampton. While we were practicing, my neighbor came over with his attitude, as neighbors often do, and challenged me to play Smells Like Teen Spirit. I said I could play that for sure. Just bring me the music. Now, here I am only playing guitar for roughly 2 hours in my life, and my neighbor comes back, gives me the music, and he acknowledged it after I learned the whole song from start to finish, including the solo, in half an hour. Yes, that's what makes an overrated guitar player. So, moving on from there, coming in at number 3, Angus Young. Absolutely disagree with that. You may not think, when you think of shredders, you do not think of Angus Young, but when you think of solid, prolific, actually brilliant guitar players, you got to think of Angus Young. This guy has made a living off writing 3-chord songs. Well, that's what makes them suck, and that's what makes them so basic. Why does that make them suck or make them basic? And I've heard that 1,000 times. Oh, they're just a 3-chord. Why use 5 chords if you can do the same thing in 3 chords? Why drive 40 miles to get to your favorite strip club if you can take an alternate route and get there in 4 miles? It just doesn't make sense. Let's think about what we're doing here, guys. So Angus Young, number 3, totally disagree with that. Coming in at number 4, are you ready for this? Most of you consider him a legend. I consider him a legend, not a shredder, but he's a legend. That would be Mr. Jimmy Page. I do not think Jimmy Page is overrated, simply because there's more aspects to playing guitar. Now, yes, the guy is a very sloppy soloist. You got to admit that. He's sloppy. But his brilliance does not come in his guitar soloing. His brilliance comes in his music writing. And when you put a guitar in this guy's hands, he writes Stairway to Heaven. I mean, give me a break. I've not written Stairway to Heaven. Chances are you've not written Stairway to Heaven. I don't know anybody who has written a Stairway to Heaven. Jimmy Page did. So you cannot call him overrated. In my opinion, he does not belong on this list whatsoever. Coming in at number 5, Kirk Hammett. This one I'm actually going to say, I think Kurt's a little overrated, simply because when I think of guitar gods, I do not think of Kirk Hammett. He's not even he's not even on the alternate list of guitar gods for me. To me, he's just a Joe Satriani clone. Satriani taught this dude how to play guitar. Now, don't get me wrong, Kirk Hammett, he's a damn good player, but I do think he's a little overrated. Simply because, the early Metallica stuff was great. Everything after the Black Album to me sounds exactly the same. Even the solos sound exactly the same. The originality's been lost. It's just been lost. Yes, Metallica is still the biggest metal band in the world, and it is an honor they so deserve. But yes, I'm sorry, I do think Kirk Hammett's a little overrated. I really do. Billy Joe Armstrong, incredibly overrated. I don't even consider this guy a guitarist. And I mean, I know he plays guitar for Green Day, but he's not a guitarist. To me, he's a rhythm dude. Now, does that make you not a guitarist just because you're a rhythm player? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But when you think of monster great guitar players, and there's a huge list you think of, this guy's not even, like I said, he's not even an alternate. He's nowhere to be found on that list. So yeah, he's incredibly overrated, but in my honest opinion, he shouldn't even be on this list. Because I'm thinking of guitarist. I don't consider him a guitarist. He does play guitar and wrote some brilliant music. Don't get me wrong. Now this one, number 7. Now this dude's a guitarist, Jimi Hendrix. Are you kidding me? They got Jimi Hendrix as the most 7th overrated guitar player ever. This is insane to me. Where would rock blues be without Jimi Hendrix? And to beat it all, the dude played the guitar upside down while he was coked out of his head. That in itself shows how great Jimi Hendrix was. The guy's a beast. And the amazing thing is, even back then, Hendrix had great tone. And the amps were shit back then. And oh man, you got to get the classic amps. Oh, the classic amps. No, they suck. The stuff they put out now is just so much better. If you're looking for great tone, it is so much easier today to get great tone than it was back in the 60s. Even back in the 70s. The amount of gear we have at our fingertips now is insane to get great tone. He had great tone back in the 70s. You call him overrated, you're an idiot. I'm gonna skip. Some of these I'm gonna skip just because I'm gonna try to hit the highlights. Dimebag Darrell. Now, Dimebag Darrell, is he an overrated player? Absolutely not. But he did, however, make my list as 5 amazing guitar players with incredibly bad tone, or with amazingly bad tone. I love Pantera. I mean, their music, dude, it's just molten. It rocks. But his tone is just, oh my God, it is just a sizzling, gainy, just group of mess. And in my opinion, he has one of the worst tones as a guitarist ever. It's just hideous for me to listen to. But Dimebag's a badass. He's such a badass that when he died, Mr. Eddie Van Halen dropped the yellow and black guitar into the grave with him. I can assure you, if I had died before Mr. Eddie Van Halen, his ass isn't dropping that guitar in my grave. I guarantee you that. He's a rocker. He should not be on this list. Let's kick down. You to the Edge, extremely, extremely overrated. Number 12, Eric Clapton. Again, I'm sorry, extremely overrated. People consider him a guitar god, and I cannot wrap my brain around this. Actually, when I started playing guitar, before I ever took lessons, before I even knew what the hell, even knew the order of the strings on a guitar, the first song I can't remember the name of it, but it was an Eric Clapton song, and I learned the solo. Now, he does have solos. I'm sure there's some that are harder than others, but I just don't think Eric Clapton's a guitar god. This whole slow hand thing, give me a break, man. I know so many people that can play his music, and I gotta be honest, some of them actually sound better doing it than Eric Clapton does. So yeah, I know I'm gonna take some flack for that, but obviously these are people's opinions. This is my opinion. I think Eric Clapton is very overrated. When he was back with Cream and stuff, I really liked him, but as he got older, his music got mushier and mushier and mushier to the point where I just couldn't dig it at all. Coming in at number 14, get ready for this one. The 14th most overrated guitar player ever is Mr. Eddie Van Halen. Give me a break. Where would rock guitar be today without Mr. Eddie Van Halen? When you think of guitar gods and guitar greats, this dude's at the top of the list, and that is a very small group of people at the top of that list, and this guy's one of them. That's like, if you don't know who Eddie Van Halen is and you're a musician, shame on you. That's like being a musician and not knowing who Beethoven is. Shame on you. Now, before you start, well, are you really comparing Eddie Van Halen to Beethoven? No, I'm talking about the greats at what they did. Beethoven was a genius. Well, no, he was just a genius, period, all the way around. If you've never listened to the Beethoven piano sonatas, do yourself a favor and listen to them. They are magical. But Eddie Van Halen, rock guitar would not be where it is today without Eddie Van Halen. And I couldn't even come up with a number of how many guitar players Eddie Van Halen spawned. When they first heard Eruption, some kid like myself, and they're like, holy shit, what is that? How did he do that? And then you grab a guitar and you start trying to figure that crap out for yourself, and you can't because it's just way beyond your skill set at the time. But even putting him on this list is an absolute joke. And this guy, one of the most boring guitar players that ever existed. His solos, 99% of them sound the same. They're not melodic at all. He was obnoxious. He didn't invent anything. He was a poor improviser. I would like to literally sink my fist into this guy's head for saying that, because this guy's a moron, and they don't put names on here, unfortunately, so I can call these idiots out for who they are. The guy changed guitar. Yeah, for the worse. He influenced 80s hair generic YouTuber shredders. It was his influence that made a lot of people value technique and speed over music and melody. He sounds better than Yanni Malmsteen. See, that wraps it up. He sounds better than Yanni Malmsteen and wrote some good tunes, so I'll give him that. Okay, so this guy's obviously a Class A idiot. He sounds better than Yanni Malmsteen, because we all know Yanni is just that amazing guitar player that plays that guitar that kind of sounds like a pan flute. So, yeah, so, okay. I wish to God this had a name so I could call this guy out by name, because he's an idiot. He's an absolute idiot. Not only was Eddie Van Halen one of the most melodic guitar writers ever, he was without a doubt the best rhythm guitarist in the world. Forget the solos. Forget the magic in his hands. His rhythm guitar player was second to none, and I will argue that point with anybody in this world. He was the best rhythm guitar player ever. Add to that his unbelievable guitar prowess, the magic that he held in these hands. Eddie Van Halen was so good, you could put him in any band in the world. He could play a solo and you would instantly know it was Eddie Van Halen. Bet you my life you could not do that with Kirk Hammett. I guarantee you could not do that with Kirk Hammett. Or, for that case, Yanni Malmsteen. So this guy's an idiot right here. And then the next one, EVA should be number one on this list. He had the speed, technique, and the chops, but his riffs and solos were mediocre. He wasn't a strong musician. I'd rather listen to 99% of the guitar players on this list over Eddie Van Halen. They are more interesting to listen to. These people obviously are not musicians, and they have no idea what composition is. And I'm really trying dude, I can really get pissed off at stuff like this. This is just insane to me that these people have absolutely no idea about music. They probably sit at home and they jam on Billie Eilish, drinking their seltzers and shit like that. You know, then on Friday nights, they go down to the coffee house and they listen to poetry. They're probably some of those weirdos. They obviously know nothing about music, technical proficiency, and composition. They know nothing about it whatsoever. I would like to see any of these clowns play anything, let alone play something by Mr. Eddie Van Halen. They should be ashamed and they should have their toes cut off. Number 15, David Grohl, very overrated. Number 16, Mr. Ted Nugent. I would not call him overrated. To me, he's just regular rated. To me, Ted's just regular rated. He's a guitar player and he's just regular rated. So I can't go with that. Carlos Santana. To me, Carlos Santana's just regular rated. He's not overrated. He's not underrated. Love him or hate him, whatever it is. One thing I do like about Carlos Santana is I am going to be doing a video on guitar players with amazing tone. I'm actually having a very hard time because I can pick a lot of great guitar players with a great tone. Some which you would never think of, like Mick Mars from Motley Crue. If you ever listen to his music, the dude's got smashing tone, man. His tone is just insane on his albums. Carlos Santana had great tone. Love him or hate him, the dude had great tone. Regular rated. And that's how I'm doing these. Overrated, underrated, regular rated. Regular rated. Tom Morello, to me, he's regular rated. When I think of great guitar players, I do not think of Tom Morello. But for what he did, it was genius for the music they did. So he's not underrated. He's not overrated. He's regular rated. Keith Richards, very, very, very overrated. Zakk Wylde, he's number 20. Are you kidding me? Zakk is a freaking beast. And talk about somebody else with crushing tone, which brings me to the comics. I can't stand his tone. That terrible blasty sound with tons of gain and then the endless wah, definitely overrated. Are you kidding me? If you have never listened to the tone of Zakk Wylde's guitar on No More Tears, and if you do hear it and you think that's a bad tone, you should quit playing guitar because you're an idiot. That tone is crushing. And out of all of the people in this world that have it, that play guitar, he's one of the few that actually has a really good tone. Zakk has put thought into his sound, unlike most people have that play guitar. Sadly, Steve Vai is one of those guys, man. I so wanted to put him on my list, but I simply didn't because, hell, I should have made it 6. Steve Vai could have been on that list because Steve Vai's tone is crap, man. Zakk Wylde's a beast. He does not deserve to be on this list at all. In my opinion, underrated, not overrated. Jack White, very overrated. Dave Navarro, 22, very overrated. Stevie Ray Vaughan coming in at number 23. I'm going to say he's underrated. Stevie Ray Vaughan was a master at that Texas blues swing. And not only was he a master at that, his tone was kick ass. The dude is a massive, massive guitar player. And I'm going to tell you, I've comped some of his songs, some of his stuff, not that easy to play. Some of that stuff's kind of like tackling Mr. Eddie Van Halen, who's also apparently a crappy guitar player, according to these people. Moving on, number 4, Prince. I'm going to say regular rated. Would I rate him as a guitarist under, over, or regular? I'm going to say regular because I would not rate him as a guitarist. I would rate him as a musician. Prince is a brilliant, brilliant songwriter. So to me, he shouldn't even be in this list. Pete Townsend, very overrated. Dave Mustaine, very overrated. Ed Sheeran shouldn't even be in the list. I mean, comment time. He cannot play guitar, and he's the worst singer ever. I kind of agree with that. Wait, he's a guitarist? He eats poop on a stick. And if these people had names, that would be the comment of the night. He eats poop on a stick. But this one I love. Lil Wayne is better. Now, if you don't know who Lil Wayne is, you need to check this out because this moron actually attempted to play guitar, and it was a horrible, horrible, horrible fail. And I believe his name's Stevie Terrenberry, Stephen Turberry, Stephen Furryberry, Stevie T. He's got a video where he does this thing on Lil Wayne. Freaking hilarious. You got to watch that shit. Not making fun of him. I really don't know what his last name is. Terryberry. I really don't know. But he goes by Stevie T. The Lil Wayne video, hilarious. You got to watch that, dude. If somebody says Lil Wayne's a better guitar player than you are, then you should seriously quit playing a damn guitar. Seriously. Number 29, Mr. Eddie Vedder. Doesn't even belong on the list. I don't even know why he's on here. Number 30, Malcolm Young. I'm going to say regularly rated. Was he a Shredmeister? No. Was he this just guitar god, 28 fingers on the fretboard? Absolutely not. But his ass got in the rhythm pocket, and he did not move. You always hear me say at the end of my videos from the great Sammy Hagar, if you miss the beat, you lose the rhythm, and nothing falls into place. This guy does not know how to lose the beat. You could hit him in the head, kick him off the stage, spit in his face, and his ass would be in perfect time the entire time. He would never come out of time. So if you think he's underrated, overrated, you're an idiot. I'm just going to call everybody idiots tonight. Joe Satriani, 31. Give me a break, man. It's Joe Satriani. He literally taught half the guitar players in the 80s and 90s. If it wasn't for Joe Satriani, half of these people would not exist. Kurt Hammett, Steve Vai, 2 right off the top of my head. Boom, boom, they're gone. There's another one. Can't think of his name right now. Shredder, but he never got the recognition of the other guys. But he's just a beast of a guitar player. But he taught from Satriani. So Satriani, underrated. The only one that pisses me off more than Eddie Van Halen being on this list, and I promise I'm trying to get through this fast, is number 32. This is my all-time favorite guitar player. The reason I started playing guitar was because of 2 people. Gary Moore was one of them, whom I absolutely love, Gary Moore. The second one, who unfortunately was on my list of bad guitar tones, is Mr. Randy Rhoads. This dude put out 2 albums, and he affected so many people with his music. Go to YouTube and just type in Randy Rhoads tributes. Hundreds of thousands of videos will pop up. They still do tributes to Randy Rhoads today. These people who say that he's an overrated guitar player are straight up idiots. If you don't believe me, and if you don't know who I'm talking about on Randy Rhoads, get Blizzard of Oz, get Diver Madman, listening to 2 songs. Well, listen to the whole albums, but 2 songs you should listen to. Revelations of Mother Earth and Diary of a Madman. The guitar work on it is absolutely brilliant. The composition is absolutely brilliant. People think Randy Rhoads, they think Crazy Train. To me, that's one of the worst songs he ever did, and it was huge. We gig with that song. I'd rather not, but most people wouldn't know Diary of a Madman if we played it, and it is a masterpiece. That song should go down besides Bach and Beethoven. I mean, Diary of a Madman, the musical proficiency on that is amazing. Listen to that song. If you don't like it and you think that he's a shitty guitar player, call me a liar and leave me a comment. 33, Joe Perry. I actually think Joe Perry is regularly rated. He's not a guitar god. He's not a bad guitar player at all. He's in Aerosmith, makes a hell of a lot more money than we do, so he's doing something right. Number 34, Brian May, overrated. Are you kidding me? This goes without, this is just beyond belief to me. Queen was one of the biggest bands in the world. Love them or hate them. Queen wrote, when I think of anthemic stadium music, I think of two bands, Journey and Queen. Both of them hugely successful. Both of them brilliant songsters with brilliant guitar players, brilliant vocalists. Everybody who says anything bad about Brian May they're an idiot. I should have called this the idiot video. So let's get to a couple of comments about Brian May. Hi, anything related to Queen is overrated. The guy was just a generic, mediocre guitarist who brought nothing new to the table, no creativity. So they say the guy has no creativity because we know there's so many songs like Bohemian Rhapsody. I mean, come on, that's just one of thousands of songs that sound exactly like that. This guy's an idiot. Give me a break. No creativity. This guy has written some of the most anthemic solos in the world. And besides that, his guitar tone crushes. And I'm gonna tell you this right now. I've just never seen a crappy guitar player with a signature guitar tone. Never in my life have I seen one. Brian May is a beast. You pull him out of Queen, there is no more Queen. Because as much as Freddie Mercury was to the vocals on that band, Brian May was on the guitar. So you're a moron. I'm probably going to get the downvote blues, but I've heard both live in studio and Brian May's guitar work always feels lacking. This came from somebody who has all the Queen albums, but he's a nice man. Okay, there you go. Let's see. Most overrated guitarist ever. Never wrote a good solo. All his solos were average. They had nothing special to them. A 9-year-old could write better solos. See, that's just a bonehead comment to make. It's kind of like that idiot from, that's just a bonehead comment to make. We're just going to leave it at that. That's just a bonehead comment. I don't know if I said it. I may have said it already, but the idiot from One Direction. They're talking about the Beatles, and the guy's like, the Beatles, they're horrible songwriters. And I'm like, dude, are you kidding me? They're the Beatles. Wrote some of the greatest rock songs in the world, some of the greatest rocky, poppy songs in the world, and you're One Direction. How dare you compare yourself to the Beatles? Dude from One Direction, you're an idiot. So moving on. Number 35, David Gilmour. Are you kidding me? Overrated. Give me a break. This guy's never played a bad note in his life, besides the most ethereal guitar tone the world has ever seen. The guy does not know how to write a bad guitar solo. Yes, he does not play 900 notes a minute. He doesn't have to because he's David Gilmour. And for all you people that think that he's a crappy guitar player, well, then you're all idiots also. Love Pink Floyd or hate Pink Floyd, you cannot deny Pink Floyd's stardom. Have one of the best-selling albums of all time, and that is Dark Side of the Moon. And I mean of all time, forever. It will always be one of the best-selling albums for all time. There would not be a Dark Side of the Moon if it was not for David Gilmour. He changed the way, actually, he changed the entire soundscape of music and of Pink Floyd. Enough said. 36, John Frusciante. Regular rated. 37, Shawn Menendez. Overrated. 38, Kerry King. I'm going to say he's regular rated. Kerry King, he's a shredder. He's a shredder. That dude can rip. But there again, when I think guitar gods, I do not think of him. 39, Peter Frampton, regular rated. Number 40, Joe Bonamassa. Joe Bonamassa, they said he's number 40 overrated. I disagree with that. Joe Bonamassa is a monster guitar player. However, his tone sucks. He was literally on the secondary list of my 5 great guitar players with bad tone. Dude, his tone is just atrociously hard to listen to. The guy's actually not a blues player, though. This guy's actually a shredder that plays blues, but he doesn't have the feel and the soul of Gary Moore. But I like Joe Bonamassa, man. That guy can well. Number 41, Chuck Berry, regular rated. 42, John 5, give me a break. That guy is a freaking monster. He is not from this planet. John 5 is a beast. 43, Pat Metheny. Are you kidding me? Man, this guy is a brilliant guitar player. This guy, his jazz composition is second to none. And there again, these are not guitar players doing this. I promise I'm going on. Number 44, Brad Delson, overrated. 45, Bo Diddley, regular rated. Number 46, Chad Kroeger, extremely overrated. Probably the most overrated guitar player on this list. It's Chad Kroeger. Oh my God. There's nothing. Dude, if you want to ruin my day, get me up in the morning and throw on some Nickelback. That will ruin my day all day long. I will never get past it. There's a couple things in this world I just cannot stand. People beating on puppy dogs, beautiful women with incredibly ugly guys, and Nickelback. Those are the things I just can't stand. Incredibly overrated. Everything about Nickelback is overrated. Their music, their writing, it's very sophomorish. It's just the whole thing, very overrated. We're going to skip a few of these so we can get done with this. 49, John Petrucci, Are You Kidding Me? To Fusion Rock. This guy is a beast. This guy is a monster. His technical proficiency is insane. Paul Gilbert, again, man, this guy, I don't even have to say anything. Go to YouTube and watch his videos. That's all I got to say. The guy's from another world. Number 51, Cliff Burton, one of the greatest bass players ever. 52, Ace Frehley. Ace is actually overrated. Ace is extremely overrated. Love Kiss or hate Kiss. Kiss did write some hooky damn music. I mean, they were Kiss. They were huge. They were monstrous. But Ace Frehley is incredibly overrated as a guitar player. Joe Walsh, insanely overrated too. Moving on. We're just going to get down to see any more big names down there. Mark Knopfler. Mark Knopfler is a monster. And there again, I don't think guitar, I think he's normally rated. When I think of guitar gods, I do not think of Mark Knopfler. But when I think of great musicians, I think of Mark Knopfler. If you've never seen the movie The Princess Bride, check that out. Most importantly, listen to the soundtrack written by Mark Knopfler. Brilliant freaking music. I love Mark Knopfler. Heading down, we're just going to try to wrap this up really quick. 66, Alex Lifeson. Are you kidding me? This guy is to prog rock what air is to breathing. Goes back, you take Alex Lifeson out of Rush, there's no more Rush. You take Neil Peart out of Rush, which happened, there's no more Rush. You take Geddy Lee out of Rush, there's no more Rush. Those three parts are integral parts of one gear. One part of that breaks, the whole thing fails. Alex Lifeson is actually one of my favorite guitar players in the world. And if you think, oh, he's overrated, play some of his solos, then come back and talk to me. Dude, his playing is so chaotic. It is so frantic, but it works in every sense of the word. It is so much fun trying to figure his stuff out because you don't know where it's going to go. I mean, this guy's off the charts. And the chaos of his guitar solos is what makes him such an amazing, amazing guitar player. I love Alex Lifeson. Billy Corgan, extremely overrated. Adrian Smith, I'm going to say he's regular rated. I love Iron Maiden. I love me some Iron Maiden, man. Dave Murray, regular rated. Those guys are just great. Jeff Lynne shouldn't even be on here. I'm sorry. Marty Friedman. Marty Friedman's a monster. They got him sitting at 73. At number 74, they got Steve Vai. I love Steve Vai. Tone sucks. There again, man, playing his music is just, I mean, the guy's just, Steve Vai. His guitar playing is so eccentric. It's actually hard to play because if you're not an eccentric person like Steve Vai, sometimes it's just kind of hard to understand where he's going. I love Steve Vai. Steve Vai's the man. Robert Johnson, number 76. Give me a freaking break. Number 77. This one bothers me. Buckethead. I bet you these people don't even know who Buckethead is. Buckethead is a virtuoso on a guitar. Get onto YouTube. This guy plays every single musical style in like 5 minutes. And I'm talking, he plays everything. Country, blues, jazz, progressive, bluegrass, chicken picking. I mean, it's insane. This guy he's weird. This guy's a weirdo. He's so good, he's weird. Buckethead is the man. Yngwie Malmsteen, love him or hate him. Tone, terrible. He made it onto my list. He is the original Neo Shredder. This guy is a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant guitar player. The reason his tone sucks is because he plays Marshall amps through a Fender guitar, and all that gain on a single coil does not work. Period. Tone is the worst, but the dude can freaking shred. He should not be on this list. Tony Iommi, I think he's regular rated. Let's see, moving on down. James Hetfield, regular rated. They got him at 84 or 80, and number 85, Richie Blackmore. Richie Blackmore's a damn great guitar player, but I'm going to give him regular rated. He's not overrated. He's not underrated. And topping this sound, this has been longer than I wanted it to, but I had to do somebody, Richie Blackmore, get him off this list. Number 86, TV Smith. I got to be honest, I don't know who that is. Something I'm missing somewhere. And then coming in at number 87, Barry Stock. I have nothing to say about Barry Stock whatsoever. So that is the top10s.com list of the top 10 most overrated guitar players, even though they ranked 87. I think this list is ridiculous. I think it's pathetically stupid. And I think most of these people are idiots. And before you start calling me an idiot, I already know I'm an idiot, so you can call me that all you want. But I am a guitarist. I do know music. I understand music. And I understand a great guitar player from a bad guitar player. Some of these guys shouldn't even be on this list at all. And actually, this list should probably be 15 long total from the people they have on here. Slash, Eddie Van Halen, Randy Rhoads should not even be on this list. This is idiotic. But this is just something I had to share with you. It's called the top10s.com. And if you want to look at this for yourself, because I'm not going to post all this stuff up, I will actually post the link to this on this video down in the explanation. So you can go in there and look, and then you yourself can get mad and call all these people idiots like I did. On that note, we're going to wrap this thing up. I've got so much material coming. It is insane. I just got through working on my piano whiteboard tonight. You'll see that coming up. I mean, dude, it took me hours to do the stupidest little tape job on this whiteboard, man. Just, it looks like a third grader did it, but I think it'll get the point across. Because I'm getting ready to start doing this, the theory stuff that I've been wanting to do forever. I just have not had the chance to get around to it. And even now I'm crazy busy, but damn it, I'm making time because it is now my time. It is now 12 o'clock, midnight, my time right now. But you know what? This shit has to roll. It's got to go. So therefore we are, and there we are. So therefore we are, and there we are. And again, on that note, if you have any comments, put it down in the comments section. If you have any questions, put it in the comments section. Please subscribe to my channel. We got a lot of great stuff coming up, and it is going to be seriously cool. 4 months off. And dude, I thought about a lot of stuff in 4 months. I mean, a lot of stuff. And I got to be honest, I missed you guys because I missed the comments because I love answering comments. And I love the banter we go through back and forth because I still got some guys from when I first started this channel. We still go back and forth. You know, we talk like we've known each other across the chat thing, across the comments section. And I dig that. That's pretty cool. So I hope some of you people missed me because I sure as hell missed you guys. And there again, please subscribe to the channel. I promise I'm getting my Patreon up and going, but this is kind of taking precedence over that. I'm going to try to get on that. But unfortunately, I've got to work all weekend long, and that sucks. But I will keep this rolling. We'll keep this going. So on that note, whatever instrument you play it to the best of your ability and practice, practice, practice. And remember, always use a metronome because if you miss the beat, you lose the rhythm and nothing falls into place. If you do not believe me, ask Mr. Sammy Hagar, one of my all-time favorite singers and one of my all-time favorite rock albums, Van Halen 5150. That thing, dude, summer nights on my radio, give me a break. When I was a kid cruising with our windows down and we had 5150 cranking across the speakers, that was a good life. And I miss those days like you would not believe because today, everything pretty much sucks right now. So there we have it. Until the next video, be good to each other. God bless everybody and rock on.